Hello, we are for the third time politics in Shakespeare's plays. At the end of this presentation, we're going to provide Jeopardy, so make sure you take notes because there's quite a bit of content that will be presented to you. First, we're going to talk about the basic Shakespeare history. This is Shakespeare. You probably know him since you also did some research on him. He was born in April 26, 1564 and died April 23rd, 1616. He was a playwright, a poet, actor, and he was an expert in all those art industry things. He had a lot of significance in plays. He used his plays to criticize or maybe even favor decisions towards perhaps governments, some cultural issues, and just traditions too. So we're going to give you more background information on the politics during this time, the 16th century. So first, a monarchy. A monarchy is a government. It's a form of government where there's one supreme leader, a ruler, such as in this case Queen Elizabeth I. Protestant Reformation. It was a time during the 16th century. There was a time during the 16th century in which there was a lot of change, cultural changes. It generally had a negative impact towards the Catholic Church. One key person, Martin Luther, he realized that there was corruption and some sort of contradictory towards the Bible and the Catholic Church. And he pointed it out with a document called the 95 Theses. And that's the foundation of a branch of Christianity called Lutheranism. And then also the Elizabethan era. It's also known as the Golden Age. It's a time when Queen Elizabeth I was ruling, and it had said that there was a lot of peace and the forms of theater were very uprooted, and it was popular back then.
The politics and the plays and the basic background information. Plays were often used to represent political figures and send political messages from the viewpoint of the writers. However, this was illegal, so it was always done indirectly. And it was one of the most effective way of spreading messages and sending them out, because most of the commoners were illiterate. Politics and plays. This is one of the two most powerful people in England. On the left is Lord Burghley, and the right is Daniel de Vere. Daniel de Vere was born nobility, and as a nobility, it was traditional for him to learn literature, and he was a great writer. He was unhappily married to the daughter of Lord Burghley, and for unknown reason, he loathed them. Allegedly, Daniel de Vere wrote Hamlet to mock Lord Burghley, and created Polonius as a symbology to represent the Lord, which is quite a good use of irony, since Lord Burghley conducted plays to entertain the Queen. This is some similarities that Polonius and Lord Burghley had. In the beginning of the play in Hamlet, Polonius sent a man to follow his own son. Lord Burghley also sent a man named Thomas Windbank to follow his son, Thomas Cecil. In the play, the character Hamlet calls Polonius a fishmonger, which is an insult which means that a man who sells and buys fish. This could have, many speculate that this was a reference to Lord Burghley's effort to make meatless Mondays. Also, Lord Burghley had a precept written for his son for his 21st birthday. Similarly, Polonius also had a precept called 10 Precepts. and at the end of the play, Polonius was brutally murdered by being stabbed, which represent the malintent of the author against Lord Burghley. Claudius is a major fictional character in Hamlet, which represented political events between Denmark and Norway, and he was the king of Denmark. Another play, also called Othello, was a tragedy by Shakespeare to illustrate military political conflicts between the veterans and the Turkish.